else, right? So I think the teams, I think they're a little hasty with their ult usages. I think they see it, they see a big opportunity, and they don't communicate, and then pop it on the point, and then they're like, "Oh, it's huge, it's massive, it's massive, it's massive." But then your Hanzo can't react in time in the back, or he's already dead.
All right, and hey, I just got word that Twitch is fixed, and we are live now on Twitch. So hooray!
I mean, yeah, I think it's probably a good thing, right? Because Kingsrow, that took almost like 40 minutes because of the DC and the long pause time. I think the pause lasted longer than the map itself, so probably glad Twitch wasn't working for that one.
Well, we will be posting this on YouTube after the cast, so you will be able to catch Kingsrow if you did miss it. And everything else will go onto YouTube here too, so I'm excited to see where we go next. So with scrims, you really can go anywhere on map choices. I know a lot of people like to practice maps where they can practice different heroes especially. So, and actually they are picking the one I would mention, Ilios.
Whoa, wait. They say wait. Not quite Ilios, a little hasty on the trigger there. Apparently, Vafrus. But, or Vafrus. I don't know. I did ask him earlier, but he did not respond. So, I'm just going to call him whichever one I feel. Seems like we are not going to Ilios. We're going to the land down under, Junkertown.
Hey, fair enough. Junkertown's a great way to practice the Bastion, the pirate ship push, as well as defending against pirate ship. Pirate ship's pretty popular all around in the lower brackets, especially. As you get up into pro level, sometimes it gets foregone for double sniper or triple DPS. We actually saw in Overwatch League in the last push with one healer instead. So definitely some interesting comps you can run on point A here.
Yeah, I think, the main thing with Pirate Ship, right, that's the Orisa Bastion. You set up on the point with the shield, Bastion's right behind it. You got that shield constantly refreshing, and then the consistent damage by the Orisa and the Bastion. If you do not know what Pirate Ship is, that is what it is. Little educational stream here. But if you want to shut down the Pirate Ship, what you have to do on the defense, because once you let the Bastion get set up, it's very, very hard to do anything, because you can't even get around the corner, right? Because the Bastion is just doing so much damage onto your shields. But the way you do it is you run like an Orisa, which is usually what you see on the defense, or the Hog, or something to displace the Bastion. And then once you displace the Bastion, get him where he has to get up and then set up again, that's when you push in, that's when you take advantage of the defense being, or the offense being displaced on the point, and that's how you sweep up the Pirate Ship.
On most maps, it's very much that the offense has the advantage, and it's designed that way for the first push. But I think especially on this point that it can be very disadvantaged to be on the defense side here, because there are those options that you mentioned before. And as soon as you get that Bastion off the cart, you put that defense together and you're feeling pretty proud, the Bastion's gone the next push.
Look where they're setting up, though. This is really weird with the Orisa Hog combo. They're probably looking for an early pick here. This is really interesting, actually. I want to see how this works out, because this is quite interesting. They're holding at their spawn. Oh, Orisa hooked out right away. Beautiful kill. Awesome. I mean, hey.
And Mikey,
there you go.
Mikey on his Widow, he's not going to have any line of sight to even damage them. So, these snipers really disadvantaged in this case. Look at Jason, or Bison, sorry, in the back there. They're just ready to kind of pick some people off in a cheeky.
Yeah, he's holding a good angle. And very, very cheeky. He's got a sight line onto Orisa, and he's going to hit the body shots, but the healing is there. The Frus does turn around and notice him, though, so Bison's going to have to hook shot on out of there. But there's another hook onto the Diva. They're not actually going to be running the Pirate Ship here. They're running the Orisa Diva, which is a little interesting because you lose out on a lot of maybe some more shield value, but the defense is running the pulled pork, the Orisa Hog, right? And what you do is you use the halt. That was a beautiful halt, by the way, right into the Junkrat.
Gripped him right down onto the ground there, and now Diva's out of mech, and that's just going to be a big delay on their part. And, I think Desperados is going to leave that little Diva around there. Dapper trying to shoot him in the head, though. It doesn't look like they really see him up there shooting down on them.
Oh, Mikey, he's able to
how did he get out of there?
Squeeze his way out of that one. I think he had the Harmony and the Mercy healing. That's why he stayed alive there. But there, Vafrus with the first pick onto the Ghastly Guy. Junk down, you lose a lot of the shield pressure, and now they're free to move right in. Vafrus, it's like the American J. Jonak. Call him K. Konak out here. My goodness, with a double kill.
Yeah, what is it with Zenyatta's here and having the double consonants here? We got Pray for GG's, 2 consonants, Jajonak. I don't know. Maybe it's just those two. I'm probably missing, yeah, missing something there. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be
and
the
I
first
think-
point.
Oh, Diva trapped up top, and you know, like I said, a lot of the thing with Jay Jonak playing Zen at such a high level like he does, I think it's really inspired a lot of these other Zens, or at least shown them how you play the hero properly, right? This is they watch Jay Jonak and they see the kind of plays he's making, the kind of crazy stuff he's doing. Ghastly Guy's tire shut down there,
what
but
up?
they see the plays that he's making, and then they go, this is how we should be playing the hero. And I think that's definitely, we've seen a change in how a lot of Zens are playing. They play more aggressive, more on the front lines, more of kind of an off DPS.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much key too to playing Zen. That's why these Zens have 60-70% win rates at the top 500 too. It is a character with agency, one of the few supports that does have that ability to really push high.
Oh, Dragon Strike came out because you see both teams had the walls, so they knew where everyone is, but oh, Ghastly Guy takes the shot right to the body. He was low HP there from the Dragon Strike and only grabbed the health pack, so he's about half, and it was just easily picked right off by the Widow there. Bomb over the top by OKS, but the Trans is there, not gonna find anything. Trans on both sides actually, and the Valky's popped as well. But the defense is still holding strong here. Pills does pop the whole hog just to try and space him around the corner. And you really can't do anything with the shield, but Dapper takes advantage of that, and now he's got another Dragon Strike, and they're going to supercharge it as well. Could choose to use it here. Yep, they are going to use it right away. Nice!
Oh, look at that boop, or that halt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that halt pulling him into that Dragon Strike pretty much sealed the deal there. Rawr looking like they're pretty much just going to push this in quite easily. I think we're getting Ghastly Guy out of position a couple times here. He's been on this Junkrat. He's gotten in front of the shield once at the very beginning. That second pick right there, he's gotten in front of, a little bit too far in front of the team. I think that's what really need to focus their positioning on there. Ghastly Guy, and also these Widows. Surprisingly, we haven't really been seeing a whole lot of Widow popping off here on either team. It's mostly body shots, so something to think about here. Both teams also, just to mention ultimates here, not sitting on anything right now on either side. No one really close to it either.
Yeah, the Widows, they've been kind of laying dormant, hibernating for the, not the winter, the summer. Well, I guess it's Australia, so it would be winter. That's why you haven't seen them. But Bison does win the Widow duel there. Garlic Bread with a double. Actually, the Winston showing up pretty big there with a double kill, and it's just OKS here, and he's going to be surrounded betwixt the entire team. There's no choice but to get zapped down by the crawling tendrils of the Tesla gun. And Desperados, they're holding pretty good here on this last point. It's usually what you see happen, right? Is the teams kind of go through early on the first and second, but then they get locked down on this this last point. Walls pop now for Bison.
I don't know what you do on the offense here. I guess they swapped to dive, which I think is, of course, one of the better comps at this point. Both teams swapping to dive. This part's really fun with this rotating platform, but it still gets pretty difficult with these Widows all around. I feel bad for Winston to play on this point.
Because you see on the defense they switched off the offense they switched off the Widow, and now you have that's a huge bomb, by the way. Don't even give me time to speak. But OKS just pops off right there with a double. Both supports actually, so that's not even a double. That's more like a that's the most value you could get. But Garlic Bread here in the backline, Primal Rage. I mean, this Winston's been showing up pretty big with this DPS.
Wow, it's amazing that in spite of that opener with OKS getting, two supports with that ult, it is so amazing that they even came back from that. And, you got to hand it to Garlic Bread for keeping two people out of the fight there while his team cleaned up. What was left of his team cleaned up. So, kudos to him on that ultimate.
Yeah, that was definitely the tide turner because, huge ultimates coming from both sides, but you did see Pills pop his own bomb there, and it didn't find anything, so they want to have that in the next fight, whereas OKS is very close to another one here, but Purple Jesus is down first. You lose half your dive, and there, Ghastly Guy and the rest free to pop off. Bomb in the backline takes out Dapper, but he does get the revenge post-mortem from the grave with one onto, with the kill onto Ghastly Guy with the dragons. They're still pushing back. There's another bomb trying to make it work though, but they're able to duck around the corner. Of course, they did use the trans there just to make sure. Mikey's down though. Bison pays for it though. So you get both DPS down on one side. There's a trans from Bruce on the point looking to push forward to give the team utility, and they are going to get the DMech onto Ghastly Guy now. Lose the defense matrix, so you can't block a lot of this damage here, of course. And there, it's finished off by Dapper, and that shows you the kind of value that D-Mech and the Diva can have. Now as they continue to push in, Ghastly Guy didn't recall. Actually, I think they kind of interesting because the E key is right next to your W, but I'm not one to judge. It's alright, it's all good.
Well, that's a long fight there, too.
It was a long fight.
It comes down to composition here a little bit too. I'm not sure this Hanzo's really.
Blade in the back, Mikey.
Oh wow.
Slices up prey for GGs into little cutlets, little robotic cutlets. Okay, so the bomb does find pills, and there, as Bison goes down. Looks like the offense is pushing pretty strong here. They've got everyone left, and it's just garlic bread left on the point. A tasty snack for Mikey there as he finishes him off. And Rawr is going to cap this first point with quite a lot of time left.
Yeah, you know, I do think this comes down to Hanzo. Hanzo just has so much more damage than the other flankers and options that they were putting on defense there. They had Tracer Genji that I just don't think the tank can really survive long enough to really put out enough pressure to really cause you know, any kind of problem on the front line there. Once the front line collapses, everything else kind of falls behind it too. And so it just became Stagger City after that. As long as you got Hanzo, I think at this point, I think it's going to be just really tough to justify, you know, not playing him in his current state.
Yeah, because Hanzo, you know, just before with Scatter, right? That just did a lot of damage. You could one-shot an Orisa with it, but with the change to Storm Arrows, it gives you a lot more potential. Instead of that one big burst of damage, now you get more consistent with the arrows, right? And then that just lets you pop the shields so quickly, and the shields just kind of crumple under the pressure because you can't keep the shield up for long enough because it just gets taken down so quickly, and then it makes it so hard to push around corners because then with the Hanzo, shot after shot, you duck around 1 second at the wrong time and bam, you're gone.
Oh man, yeah, it really comes down to what? Scatter is basically one big set of damage that may or may not land everything on it, but with Storm Arrow, it's just, even if it's the same amount of damage, right? You can choose where it goes. It's kind of like Pulse Bomb versus Orisa's Supercharger, right? Supercharger may boost like 800 damage, and it can spread across a lot of different targets. Pulse Bomb has the burst damage advantage, even though it only might be 300 damage. So these are things to think about. You know, math. Damn math. Here I thought I wouldn't have to use it after I got out of school.
Thought I was done, man. Yeah, exactly. I'm out of school here, summertime. Bringing up math? Come on, man. You can't do this to me. But you're going to push out here. Defense is, of course, running this Orisa with the Widowmaker. Orisa Diva, actually, interesting enough. Both sides we see running that. They're actually running mirror comps here.
And pushing in here with this, you know, Orisa on the payload, not really running the Roadhog here, which I think is interesting. We see a lot of Roadhogs here running at this point. And they're going to push in, just putting the shields up. Diva going to kind of find GastlyGuy up on the top. Once again, he's kind of getting really low there, almost getting him down. A lot of the members of Desperados going a lot lower than they have in the other team there. Bison, oh man, but they are pushing in. GastlyGuy does find Dapper with the headshot there, and Pills is going to get Purple Jesus. Pushing past the shields now. Looks like it's just going to be cleanup at this point. No chance for regroup. Pretty good push there by Desperados.
Yeah, they could, I guess they could duck out here. OKS could duck out on the Diva very quickly, but of course you do suffer a lot of damage, and I think the main reason why you don't see the Hog here is because teams want to run, they want to run Widow Denial, right? You want to make sure you have the Matrix to block all the shots, and I think that's why we see the teams running the Orisa Diva as opposed to the Orisa Hog, because, you know, with the Hog you can't really shut down the Widows very well.
That's very true. End of the day, I guess it depends on whether Bastion's there or not, right? No Bastion, no need for Hog.
It's a big halt on the point, but they aren't going to be able to find anything because, you know, the shield is there. Do you try to halt him over, and you see, I guess they're not running the pulled pork combo, they're running the pulled spider. Does that make sense? Because, you know, you try to pull him over the shield and then find a quick headshot on the Widow, but it doesn't seem like either team is able to do that so far. Bison's holding this angle on the back line, however, trying to find the shots up top, but you're fighting at a disadvantage. Two ultimates now, bomb and both bombs. That's a massive one from Pills there. But counterpick onto Galaxy, but just Galaxy, so that is not going to be enough value with Pills coming up with a massive bomb.
That's really a set play right there. You know, you got the bomb coming up on the top, which prevents you from being on the high ground. The dragon on the bottom, which prevents you from being on the low ground. You really got nowhere to stand unless you've already positioned yourself to dodge 2 ults instead of 1. That's beautiful, beautiful play. These Diva bombs, you know, gotta be careful. Gotta make sure you aim them properly too so that they can hit the right places. I know we saw some earlier ones that were kind of too high up.
Yeah, because, you know, when you get it too high, then it goes suborbital, right? And then you can't find anything with that. But you want to keep it within the atmospheric levels, you know, where you can still find all that damage, all that sweet, sweet damage from
A
it.
cumulus Diva bomb.
Exactly, right? You don't want to have it be like in the stratosphere. I don't know. I don't really know the atmospheric layers, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
L D-Mech there by Pills. A good opening to the play, and GastlyGuy finding Purple Jesus has Discord orb on him as well. That's going to be the shield shredded once again. Seems like they're having a lot of trouble keeping these shields up as Bison finds Mikey and also finds Vaporous. OKS down 2. Bison popping off. There's that Widow pop-off we've been looking for.
There we go. The sleeper agent finally awoken here in this last push with this double sniper composition, and of course they're using the Sonic arrow to their advantage too. You know, they pop the Sonic, gives you discount Widow walls for just a short amount of time in a designated area, but they're waiting around the corner here. Superchargers on the point, of course, and now they're gonna push in here. Trans is out just to block all that damage, but OKS bursted down through regardless. The point where Bison does get a kill. Dapper tries to respond though, but it's not gonna be enough. Mikey does find GastlyGuy on the point, but Superchargers finally down. You see another bomb on the point from Pills coming on the back line, finds Mikey and Kef with the Mercy down and the Genji down, the DPS. OKS is left to contest. He's going to be able to get on in time, and now you see the stalls kind of switching here. This is where Purple Jesus wants to switch to Winston to try and contest the point. You see the Dragons coming up from spawn, actually trying to shut this down. So the defense actually is going to be able to come back here with just that... oh, wait, no. Forgive me. That was the offense. I'm not even sure how that Dragon Strike ended up behind there coming from spawn, but that was a crazy angle. I think...
It's just well set play there, honestly, throwing it the way he did.
Threw me for a loop.
He knew his team had basically one player down. When you lose your DPS on offense, sometimes that payload or 2CP can be an infinite stall because you just don't have the damage. So by throwing out the Dragon, they ended up with a fairly zoned out point. That gave their DPS enough time to just shoot those people that usually are kind of hiding, ducking behind the cart, and that gave him enough time. And also Bison, you know, he's a Widowmaker, right? So getting that extra damage on the people ducking behind the cart, behind those tanks, that can be difficult without that kind of zoning out there. So good call on his part, not just kind of saving it for the next push.
I think where he used it was up top, you know, kind of where the offense spawn is. You're at that kind of angle where you can shoot it on the point. That was a really interesting angle. I thought that came from the defense spawn, actually. So, I mean, that threw me completely for a loop. I didn't even know what team was wished there. So, I mean, that's just kind of 900 IQ plays we're seeing here from Desperados so far.
Well, this is a scrim, and so those of you who
true.
might not know, by the way, what scrims entail. Usually this is kind of the setup here where you try to get the most bang for your buck on your time. So rather than playing out entire maps, even though there was time left in the time bank for both teams, they're switching on and they're moving on here to Hanamura in this case. So, you know, just keep that in mind if you're doing your own scrims. It's an option for you.
Yeah, because scrims teams just wanna kind of test themselves, see what they can do, and that's why you don't see. That's why you see some kind of crazier plays happen in scrims. You know, like you might see a Torb come out, and then you're like, "What is this? Why are they running Torb?" Well, it's because it's a scrim, right? Because it's not. You don't really have the pressure of a real match. You know, it's a very very casual kind of environment where both teams kind of improve. You can get some little trash talk here and there in the match chat. You know, of course, always love to see that. But the pressure of the real matches there, where like, okay, we have to show up, we have to perform. It's more just like a nice little practice for the team, right?
Yeah, and where else are you going to be able to experiment too? You know, some of these comps that you see in Overwatch League or Contenders, or even if you see it in other scrims, or if you see it on youtube.com/hx9 in his casting section, you know, wherever you might see these strats, you don't get a chance to you can't practice them in a tournament. You got to practice them with a real team. So, you know, it's good to find good scrim partners too. See if you can find some teams you can regularly play against, especially if you find you're having some kind of even matches too. And you know, also, pretty sure Desperados is trying out a few new players this time too. Try to get some more people on their roster. So, good place for that too.
Very interesting, yeah. Because you know, I think it's always good to have that environment where you can just mess around, practice. And again, yeah, the scrim partners, that's really important, because if you have a team that you know that you can play against again and again and again, then both of you can improve, both of you can point out, you know, oh, okay, we saw you guys, you know, ran this last time, you're looking a lot better with this one, so you can help each other out with that, you know, a little coaching here and there. But we're going to be on Hanamura now. It's a 2CP map, and Hanamura, I guess, it's one of those 2CP maps where it's decided by the choke point, right? It's decided by the main A point, choke point. Wow, that was a lot of points. But it's it really comes down to that. You know, we usually see the Rhine and the Zarya hold right up there, right in that choke. And it's really, really hard to kind of break through that because you have only really one zone of entry here. You know, you do see some crazier strats come out. You know, I remember one time back in the old Apex days, 90s kids know what I'm talking about here. The May Immortals boost right up Main Street. That was crazy. And you know, so if you do want to pop by and squeeze by this choke here, you could get a little creative with it, get a little wacky, you know. And I don't know if teams are going to try this out. I mean, I don't see a May right now, but that could change in the future. But on the defense, actually, they're not going to be running the Ryan Zarya. Interestingly enough, the Orisa Hog.
I like the Orisa Hog on this map too sometimes. It could be a good way to throw people for a loop. The Hog can have a lot more sustain than other heroes in the front, which means even if they're really putting the pressure on there, you can kind of keep yourself healed up that way. It leaves your Mercy to kind of heal the folks that are getting flanked. So that can be a good advantage to it. Also, the Orisa can be great if the other team is running, you know, Widowmakers. Ryan can't really shoot Widowmakers or put the pressure on them. Sometimes your Widowmaker on defense isn't really at an angle where she can shoot the Widowmaker, so it leaves your Orisa to actually put a little bit of pressure on her. So, good options.
Definitely good options, but the defense or the offense is going to be running a more here with the double sniper, of course, and they're going to be holding around the corner here for the defense with the Cerise Hog, looking for that, of course, pulled pork combination, but with the Widow up top applying some pressure on the long range, you have to divert some of your Hanzo resources just to take care of it. But he's going to go up top here, Mikey, looking for a shot. He's pretty safe up here, actually, but Bison shuts him down right away. You lose a lot of your long-range pressure, and now with a double kill coming out of Bison, that is going to stop the defense, or stop the offense in its tracks.
So what I'd like to see from the offense here is actually a Pharah. I think that would be a pretty good swap here. You don't really have much to counter it on the defense at this point. And it's pretty common on Hanamura, and you have these kind of defensive setups here. Good time to practice it, too. Both teams kind of low on ults. GastlyGuy getting his tire as, a hook goes off onto OKS. He's going to get demeched. Kind of is able to get out of there potentially, but he's going to go try to aim for the edge there. Phil's not going to let him get there, though.
Yeah, very unlucky. And of course, with that hook coming up right away, right, that's just gonna diva down. You lose one of your tanks, and you know, you see they're playing this smart. They didn't go in after that, right? You know, that's how you want to play. If you get picked early like that, do not go in. Just back out. Don't feed any of your ultimates. Just wait until your heroes come back. Everyone's respawn and fresh, ready for another fight.
All right, and those of you who watch, you know, or who insult my particular shield placements here on this map when I'm playing defense. Look at this Orisa shield. Great positioning. Dragon goes out. It is going to pick off Kef, and OKS gets hooked in. Going to go ahead and get demeched as well. Purple Jesus going down as well from Bison. Rez trying to go off from Vaporos as he pops his Valkyrie. Is going to find Reinhardt, although Reinhardt is kind of finding himself without many teammates. Oh, boy.
I feel like that was calculated play there from GastlyGuy because he put the trap there. He knew. You see, he knew that Purple Jesus was going to charge there. It was big brain play. We came out of him. I mean, get this guy a Mensa card because he's high IQ.
Oh, that's a meme that may never die. Okay, that's trying to find his way into the back here. A little bit of a flank using that ability to get through the choke better. He might try to put some pressure on the point so that they have to let someone come back to kind of deal with him. And that's what he's doing right now. Sights goes out from Mikey, though, too.
No one's getting on the point right now. GastlyGuy finally turns around, but it's too late. He's down. The Discord was on him as well as now. Both trans on both sides. Galaxy's down with that shatter, but they're not going to be able to find the follow-up there because you got the Transcendence coming out. But here's a Supercharger and a Whole Hog trying to make a use of that boosted damage because the Whole Hog does do a whole lot. But, of course, he's discorded. Does find Kef, though, in there. Dragon Strike on the point, finds Dapper. Purple Jesus with the charge of the Galaxy, though. The Mercy's down. That's huge, but they're still trying to come back here. OKS and Purple Jesus are on the point, but his shield is down. He has to come up big here. There's a bomb on the point. If they can pop the shield, maybe find some utility, but they've already gotten one tick. The point, Purple Jesus down there with that boosted damage, but the res is up for him right away, and they are going to be able to cap this one out. So I think what that came down to was the fact that you just had the two tanks, all that beefy health bars, whereas the other side, they really had only a few squishies, right?
Yeah, I mean, initially that OKS flank, too, that he tried the first time that he kind of got killed on before, you know, getting onto the point really resets the more static defense that you have on Hanamura. So it's a great way to just dislodge a few people, and once that first part breaks, the rest of them kind of crumble, too. It's really hard for Orisa to, you know, find her sea legs getting back onto that point.
defense switches to a kind of weird dive here, though. They're not running just the Orisa, or no, sorry, the Winston Diva. So they're not running a full dive because you don't have the DPS to go with it. But it could work out in their favor. And if Bison keeps finding shots like this on a Mikey, they will definitely find value from this dive defense, as they're going to take advantage of the pick that they have already and sweep out up front. Garlic Red does go down, but Pills with a double kill, they're going to find exactly what they wanted. So they can afford to lose Garlic Red there because you get the double.
A little bit of extra stagger too. You know, that's one of the things in Hanamura that can be pretty daunting, is that open area with the, you know, small little pagoda in the center. That can be a little more difficult area to escape from. You know, flankers can get out there, Widow can kind of snipe you, dive tanks quickly get away too. So, you know, great job on the side of Desperados. Got him.
It's a beautiful garden, but it's coated in blood. It's everywhere, man. All these picks that come out there, it's quite unlucky. But Garlic Red holding up top here. Purple Jesus is trapped, and he's gonna get focused down. That's again 900 IQ traps. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful stuff. But there's a Shatter on the point, and they're going for a Dragon's combo with it. They do find Galaxy and Pills, actually, but there's a bomb. It's going to be blocked, of course, by Purple Jesus, who was just there, and they've already got one signal on the point and counting here. The defense has to kind of stagger out one by one here if they can even make it. They're going to use a trans here, trying to vroom onto the point, but Pray for GG's not quite fast enough. You see he hesitated there. He didn't know if he wanted to use it or not, and then it cost him, because now what could have been a long stall, now 2 minutes and 50 seconds. That's quite a lot of time, especially on Hanamura.
Yeah, he actually had a little bit of a mishap here on Pray for GG's side. He was up on this high ground, and the Widow on the other side was just able to pick him off before he could use that trans. That trans would have been the key to surviving that particular push there. A lot of ultimates went off, and there just wasn't a lot of healing to go with it. I'm interested to see, too, if you know, that was either a misstep, or if, you know, I kind of want to go back and watch the VOD there, too, to see, you know, why that high ground was, you know, kind of left open there too. It's very interesting to see, you know, double sniper the way it is not play out in the way it did. But I think they had actually Junkrat on defense, not double sniper. So
yeah, they were running the Junkrat, and that's why, you know, that's what I was talking about. All those big, huge, massive traps, you know, into Purple Jesus every time seem to fall for it again and again.
They got to know those, you know, if you're a Reinhardt player, switch to Junkrat, you know, you'll know exactly where to put those traps down, right? The charge lanes are often the same, so I think that's the most consistent thing you can get with a Junkrat trap too, you know, especially in the meta now where there aren't a whole lot of flankers. You know, where does your trap actually hit somebody? And Reinhardt's a good target for it. You can try to be cheeky with it, put in some choke points that people don't normally go down, maybe to catch someone sneaking around in the corner, but, you know, who's sneaking around in these big death balls? Nobody. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. Wow. Big brain casting here. I mean, bronze casting, lol. Defense though.
You give my wood tier casting too much credit.
I love this. This is the I think this is the Ghost comp, question mark? I don't know. I
the
think
303 is what I call it, you know.
303. Oh, Pray for GG's down though. They're gonna get stalled out. But you know, with this comp, the goats, or you know, they're running a variation on the ambulance comp. They're actually gonna take advantage of this right away. That huge hook. They're gonna move in if they can finish off OKS. That's huge. Now they can actually afford to move in because they have the spawn advantage, and need to, of course, fade onto the front lines here. Pray for GG's does just that, and now they've already moved on to the point, trying to gain a good foothold here. Purple Jesus trying to move on. He has the damage boost available, but there's just so much CC there on the point. He can't do anything but die. So, I mean, I think with this comp, you know, you want to take advantage of the fact that you have so much close range damage. It's a very brawler. Get in there, get up close and personal, sucker punch them before they even have a chance to know what's happening, right?
Yeah, exactly. And now they're switching over to Diva instead of Roadhog. That Roadhog was instrumental too, getting that hook onto OKS at the very beginning, set up that entire play. But now they're going with the Diva. They're going to try to get some of that high ground advantage too, as they push up to the second floor here. And they're going to be able to contest a Widow that's further away with this Diva. They are pushing up to the top. Hanzo getting some pot shots off on them, though. And there's the Dragon to get him out there.
Right into the hallway. It was big, but they were able to sneak by just in time, so it's just going to find Galaxy. But that pick is big enough because you lose the speed and you lose the healing. Pray for GG's, of course, had to back out to avoid getting killed, so he couldn't burst them all back to full health. What? Okay, he could be going for a switch here.
And Ghastly Guy, though, getting massively staggered. Gets back into his mech, getting out of mech again.
Worst. No.
If they can
That's
run in
so
front of
unlucky.
him, they might be able to body block him.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, you made it. All right.
Oh, poor Ghastly Guy.
And
I mean,
his-
hey, with a play like with a stagger like that, I mean, anyone would be driven to suicide there. So, very unlucky. I mean, always those huge diva staggers. I mean, you have to jump off the map to reset because you know the defense is not gonna let you get back in your mech and get out of that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's not joke too much about suicide now.
That's true. That's true. That's a bit of a could be bad for that one. So.
All right, now let's push in here. They got the triple thing. The Graviton, though, does go off. It's going to be a big brawl on top of the Graviton. Bomb goes up from OKS. Galaxy gets blown away. There are still 5 people up, though. They are going to push in onto the point with the last other thing. They have OKS
good
trying to get
shadow
there.
with the dragons.
That was very strong. Very smart play there. You know, this Diva's not exactly working out, but it's kind of working out. They're just not really having enough time to get up to Mickey and stop him from... you know, doing this kind of, doing a little bit of extra damage. They are shutting him down, but they're not shutting down anyone else. I'd be surprised if they don't switch off this comp, but it looks like they are sticking with it.
Greetings.
You know, I think the interesting part about this, about the triple tank.
Oh, they are
is that,
switching.
they're gonna switch to a bit of a dive here, actually, which could work out. You know, I think the part of the value from running, yeah, of course they're gonna switch to a more standard comp. And I think, you know, I was gonna say part of the value of the goats or the ambulance comp is that you go in, you find the value from it right away with the shock and awe, kind of blitzkrieg the point. But then after that, then the defense knows what to expect, and it's actually fairly easily countered, right? You bait them in, make them burn all their abilities, and then you just play it from mid range, right? You don't want to get up
play it
close because that's
safe.
where it excels. Exactly. Oh, Dapper, nice shot onto Pills there. He used to be a tracer, but then he took an arrow to the head, not the knee. So that's just
Yeah.
gonna end this one out right away.
This
I mean,
is-
they can't push.
And just a note on the clock, this is currently setting up to be about a 1.5-minute stagger, and a 1.5-minute regroup here. And this might even be a further stagger here since they didn't get the res. Hammer down, going down for
Shatters.
Purple Jesus. He's just gonna go ahead and slam him down. Well, they're all dead, and
Another stagger.
yeah, the stagger continues here. There has not been a 6-man regroup here. I mean, I guess, you know, that was a pick. It wasn't really a stagger at the beginning, sure, but to say that they've had a really good push in the past 2.5 minutes would be lying. Yeah, it's just longer stagger going on now.
Very unlucky, and I think they do now switch to, they have the full dive coming out now, so we might see that come out. They switch off the Brigitte finally because, you know, the rally was used, but now they push onto the point, trying to gain ground right away. Purple Jesus drops down from above. He does not have a shatter for this fight, so he's just trying to duel Garlic Bread on the point. He does use those strong monkey legs, jumping up over the point somehow. I don't even know how Moonsey can jump that high. I think he has assist there from the Rockets, but bomb on the point as well. He's not going to find anything because everyone is behind his shield, protected by the safe bubble from Garlic Bread there, but here he's gonna pop the Primal Rage just to keep himself alive. Ghastly Guy picks up a double with the rest of the team, you know, there for the damage, and now they space OKS away from the point. Garlic Bread jumps in, tries to get him down if he can, finish him off, but Calf here finally with the trans, doing what Pray for GG's could not, and he's gonna be able to contest the point. Purple Jesus, that's a big shatter, goodness gracious.
Got
They're
4
gonna be in a
people
follow-up.
with it. Gas guy goes pop his bomb in the corner. He is going down though after he gets taken out of mech. Garlic Bread trying to hold on as Purple Jesus kind of gets back onto him. He does manage to get him down though. Bison now popping his blade. He knows he just got to get these guys down very quickly. But it's gone. That's going to be it for that push. 2 ticks. Not quite there for Desperados. And
I don't know, if I was Bison there, I would not have used it.
yeah, he had a chance maybe to kill all 3, but even then I don't think he would have gotten the full tick since
Very
his entire
risky.
team was dead.
Very risky.
I think this just goes to show, you know, this particular comp with this Moira Lucio. Did we see Moira's ult there? Oh, Dapper finding a pick on Bison. I don't think
He
we
has it for the next fight though.
Did he use his ult though before? At the
He
beginning?
did use the ultimate
Yeah,
there.
so
at
he
the
got a
very
new
beginning.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so that, I mean, Mori can just build those up so quickly with all that burst healing. But there, I mean, Dapper wins against Bison here, so it's Hanzo 2, Genji 0. I mean, if you get what I'm saying, if you're a lore master.
Oh yeah, I don't know if we count the outside of gameplay ones there.
That's true.
We're giving Dapper a little more credit. You know, that was OG Hansa that got that 1st win.
Helden sterben nicht.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, of course, he has the storm arrows now. But here we go. Blade on the point, Dragons as well. They're gonna find the value. Galaxy's finished off, and with the rest of the team there, I mean, you do see the Mora ult finally get popped, and he actually goes over the edge there. I think Purple Jesus might have knocked him away a little bit. But I think he was just trying to reset there, and of course the rest of the team follows suit because that was just it was really unlucky because Pray for GG's does now switch to the Zen, but with the Moira, and I think they were trying to push up Main Street, but with all that pressure from the top from Dapper and Kef even on the Zen, it's just very hard to push in.
Yeah, again, I think we're seeing once again the value of just having that Hanzo. The Brigida now also on the defense as well. The triple support thing there. It's kind of hard for Dive to jump into this Hanzo-Brigida combo. And it's something we've seen all this season too. So I'm wondering, they switched to the Reinhardt now. I think that's going to help them out a little bit with that.
It helps you definitely push in at least in this top room here, and we're gonna see that right away. But look, you've got the distraction on the point from Pills there, so you put the war on 2 fronts here. But you do see the trans come out from Kef here, trying to keep the team alive, of course, very safe. But nice, smart move by the offense. They wait it out. Don't even try to push into that. They keep the high ground, but Garlic Bread jumps down too early. He's going to be finished off, and Galaxy doesn't even want to go for the res here. It'd be very risky because Mikey is, of course, right there, and he is discorded. He's trying to finish him off, but you've got the both supports playing together, so they are able to survive. Pills, though, cannot, and now Mikey takes advantage of the dash reset to kill 2 right away, and now with OT on the point, the bomb comes out. Ghastly Guy finds a kill, but Pray for GG's to try to make this work, but with a D-Mech and now Blade from Mikey, it's going to slice the team up like a hot knife through butter, and Brian's on the point, but he's finished off very, very quickly, and I don't think the offense could come back here.
Definitely not. They're going to hover kind of on the point here with Valkyrie. Pill's going to get back. Bison going to get back with Dragon Blade.
Possibly.
Potentially a chance.
Here.
Oh,
no. Cap.
The melee comp, you can't really get too much done against that, especially with all that extra armor. So, yeah, that's going to be it on that push. And hey, thanks for the cheer, Rutro. Appreciate that. 100 bits. All right.
Yeah. Always good to get those good old bits, But here we see play the game going to Mikey. Beautiful Genji Blade on the point, just to do all that damage through the Dragon Strike as well. So it just sweeps up the team. And Mikey, you see him there, 15 kill streak, 22 elims in total. Quite a bit, the tanks do win out in terms of the DPS battle, but with the 15 kill streak, that shows you how long he stayed alive, right? And just able to find that value on the Genji of just taking advantage of the dash resets and deflect to keep himself alive for as long as he can.
Very true. Yes. What I think the main issue definitely had to be they had a chance to cap the point there, but they lost Genji right at the beginning, and. That pretty much was the biggest thing there. It does look like that is going to be it, though. It looks like it's going to be our final scrim here. So thanks once again, everyone, for watching. Once again, I'm HX9. You can see my social media on the screen and, of course, in the description below. And I'm joined with Rian here.
Yes, indeed. That is me.
And we're going to be casting again together on Saturday for the Overtime Champions. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll be tweeting that out. Follow Rian on Twitter. He'll be tweeting that one out too. And I have a couple other casts as well for the Overtime Champions. Rian's actually one of the... wait, are you the founder of the Overtime?
I am not. That would be Zan. But I am the stream team manager. So I just make sure that... really, if I'm honest, it's a glorified spreadsheet organizer. But other than that, yeah, it's... We hold a lot of matches, a lot of kind of plat diamond. That's usually with SR. We don't have a lot of high elo competitions, but it's more of an amateur league in kind of the esports format. So check it out if you're interested. If you are, of course, in plat or diamond yourself and are looking to maybe join a team, get involved, and reach out to me. Of course, find me on Discord. This is the same thing as my in-game. Rien number 222 or 2660. You have to have the special eye though. So just reach out to me, reach out to Zan, look up Overtime Champions, and you could possibly get involved. So love to. This is a lot of fun. Thank you HX9 for bringing me in. At least this is it's a lot of fun to cast this match between the Desperados and Rawr.
Well, it's great to have you, Rhiannon. And once again, if you're looking for more casts, check out the YouTube as well, and youtube.com/hx9. I have a bunch of other casts. There's a scrim, particularly you might be interested in, a top 500 teams facing each other, Prototype Prodigies versus somebody there. But that's one of the more later ones, and comes in 2 parts as well. So, and you will be able to see the first part of this scrim on YouTube very shortly. I'm going to be posting that as soon as possible, and the second half will have to come 24 hours later per Twitch rules. That's it, though, for this cast. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Thanks, Rhiannon, for joining me, and we will see you all next time.